Good morning. It's Friday, November 6th, and this morning one of my devotionals was talking about Genesis 50, where Joseph is talking to his brothers who had sold him into slavery, and through a series of events he ended up becoming second in command in Egypt and all of these amazing things, and then he actually helped save his siblings' lives. And so he says in Genesis 50:20 that what you intended to harm me, God intended it for good. And something that the author wrote that I thought was really neat was that God intended it for good, but Joseph had to go through a lot of difficult times. It didn't always feel like it was good. It didn't always feel like God was even working. And we can see, as we look through his entire life, how God really did work it out for good, and there's a bigger story unfolding. But when you're in the middle of that, Joseph was in jail. He was accused of doing something that he didn't do. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers. All those things don't feel good, but God makes it into this beautiful plan. And there's just this bigger story that we can't see, and that we might not even see entirely. And this has just been coming up over and over in my life and lately, and it just really gives me hope. We aren't promised a perfect life here, and it can be really discouraging, but when we know who God is and his character, and that he is bringing things for good, and that he has won this war against evil, and when we remind ourselves of all those things, and when there's a verse, keep our eyes fixed on Jesus, it makes everything pale in comparison, and it gives us hope. And I think that's just one of the things I'm celebrating today, that we have a God of hope, and that he sees so much more than we do. And we get to see the story eventually, but maybe not right now, or not this year, or not this moment. But we can still have hope.